Lil
What
B
up, bro?
Dude, what's going
What's
on?
good? Not a whole lot, man. How you?
Hey man, so I love living where I live because there's so much to do. But when you have so much to do around where you live, you know the riffraff is going to come from time to time. So we got the Christmas lights and the tree and everything going off in Atlantic Station. And
Yeah.
when I tell you, had to be 100 kids out there just on the corner, I was like, what the hell is all this noise? So I go out on the balcony and see what's going on. They're out there. First, they was out there, I guess, just talking back and forth. The next thing you know, they was fighting like grown people out there.
Wow.
Yeah. So the police just
Wow.
left. Yeah, the police just left, and it looks like they took a couple people to jail. So I don't know how that's gonna work out, but
Well, that's city life, man.
hey, it is what it is. But
That's city
anyway,
life.
so how are you doing, sir?
Yo, I'm good, man. It's been a long day, but I'm glad to be a part of this, man. I definitely, man. Thank you for for bringing me on. Thank you for using your platform, allowing me to speak on your platform. I really appreciate that, brother.
Well, I want to thank you for helping me build a platform because we started from the bottom trying to climb up to the top, and we got a little ways to go. But appreciate you coming on and to the Layover Show. I actually met Liv B. Do a few months ago. I didn't even know who a Liv B. Do was until I went on a trip to Arizona with two of my other
Yeah,
partners. And
yeah.
this cat with this beard and this cool hat showed up, and the rest is history.
Yo, we had a good time, man. We had a great time, bro. It
Oh
was a good
man. Dude, it was, there's a lot of driving involved, but just the sights that we saw, I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
I wasn't into hiking before COVID, but ever since COVID dropped, I think I've been hiking like 6, 7 times. But that was an amazing experience because we were able to go so many different places.
Yeah.
We just had to
Covered
stay
a lot
away.
of ground.
Yeah, we just had to stay away from those roads with those sheer drop offs.
Oh my God. We're not gonna talk about that tonight, man.
All right. We'll move on to the topic at hand.
Oh my God. Yo, how you gonna
Hey,
do me like that, man?
I still got you on video. I'm not gonna put it out there, but I still have it on video. I got it in the safety deposit box. So if I ever need some leverage on you, I got a little bit of that.
Bro, you know what, man? I love you so much, man. No,
Oh,
seriously though, man, that was a good trip. The vibe was excellent, man. For us we never met, and we spent so much time in that confined space in that car, and
yeah.
we all just got along, man. That
Right,
was
right, right.
fantastic.
Yeah, I
That was
agree. I
good.
agree. It was fun times. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
So let's kick it off. So welcome to the Layover Show again. This is something that that I do to help inspire people, educate people, and people have questions all the time. But you can read articles and you can run into people that have gone places, but you don't always get the perspective that you want. So just trying to shine a different perspective of travel. So first question, what got you into travel? Like, why travel?
Man, I've been a wanderer all my life, man.
Okay.
Um, I grew up in the Bronx, and there were times when I would just ride the train or the bus to the last stop. I
Hmm.
would try to get lost, bro. Just try
Wow.
to get lost.
Okay.
So I've always been into, a little bit of adventure. Nothing too crazy, no bungee jumping or jumping from planes or anything like that. But definitely wandering and exploring and stuff like that.
Okay.
Then as soon as I was old enough to drive, I was into road trips.
No. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, so I would just jump in my cars, and I'm very spontaneous. So I'll jump in my car in a minute. Well, in December, in 2 weeks, that
Mm.
was spontaneous, the
Yeah.
last minute road trip. Yeah.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
I'm always down for, I've always been like that. I've always been down for a road trip or something like that. Or just always been adventurous. I was always different. Growing up in the city, I would go up into Connecticut with my uncles, go fishing. Everybody else is playing sports and and you know, doing city kid stuff on the block, and
Right.
I would be up in Connecticut spending the weekend fishing.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
so,
You are an avid fisher. You know, I'm from the country. You know, South Carolina. I'm more of the lakes and ponds and rivers and streams. You know, this cat here, you know, he wants to go in the open ocean and go fishing. But
I
hey,
want to go deep sea fishing, man. You
there
got to
it
go
is.
deep. That's where the treasure is, man.
Okay. Okay. We'll see how that works. We'll make a trip somewhere. I'm pretty sure. But the previous trip he was talking about. So we were on a WhatsApp group call. What was it, like 2 weeks ago? I think it was. And we were just over on the call goofing off and was like, hey, let's you know, go on a road trip. I was actually going to go to Dallas because I didn't have anything else to do. But I had never been to Miami, so he was like, "Why don't we go to Miami?" And there it is. So there's the next road trip.
Yeah.
We'll be going to Miami, the December 11th through the 14th, I believe it is.
Yeah. I actually get there on the 10th, but yeah, it's about the 11th to the 15th. Yeah.
Well, I might need to change my date too then. We'll see about that. So so let me ask you this, Liv B. So we got how you know started with travel. You're a wanderer. You got lost, you know, you hopping on buses and just getting off places or whatever. So how did that morph into more? I mean, do you do anything? Do you just travel, or do you have some other things going on?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you how I got into international travel.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I am not a good flyer. That's new. This is all new. In the past, a lot of people know. If you follow me on social media.
Hold on. What do you mean by not a good flyer? You got to break that down. I don't know what that means.
I'm a better flyer now than I've ever been. I'm 45 years old. I'm a better flyer now, and I had to practice. I had to work for this. This didn't come easy. I had to work for this.
Okay. All right.
So,
all right.
And that's how we're gonna get into this next part.
Okay.
People who follow me, they know that Puerto Rico is that's my destination. That's my spot.
Right. Yep.
So there was a point in time, I guess between 2017 and 2019, where I was in Puerto Rico probably like every other month.
Wow.
Now it was a dual purpose thing. For one thing, it's a place where I take my mental health breaks.
Okay.
So, you know, I would work a little bit, I would always try to purposely schedule something. But the second purpose was I had to book a flight so that I could get acclimated to flying. So that was my thing. I was really trying to get acclimated to flying. So I used Puerto Rico to get acclimated to flying, and also just to take breaks. And how Live Be Do started, by the way, which is not my name, everybody. My name is Akeem. So I would work. I'm self-employed. I own a home improvement business. And I would work and work and work. And you know how sometimes you work and you set goals and you say, when I get to this goal, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go here.
Right.
When I get this amount of money, I'm going to go here. I'm going to do this.
Right.
Everybody does that. I think everybody does that. I used to do that, and I would reach my goals, but I would never take a break. I wouldn't schedule breaks. And what would happen was I would burn out. I would work myself into like depression or just burnout. I'd be in the bed for like a week, just burnt out.
Okay.
Just burnt out because I'm in home improvement. I'm in trades.
Yeah.
So my work is physical.
Right.
So
you working yourself to death, literally.
Yeah, literally. Like I would work like 16, 18 hours a day, sometimes 7 days a week. And you do that for a couple of months, and you pretty much
gonna shut down. Your body's gonna say, "Look, if you're not gonna shut me down, I'm gonna shut me down." So I got you.
Exactly. So I got to the point where I had to reevaluate life. I had to look at myself. I had to take a really good look at what I was doing. Like, am I living? Like, what am I working for?
Right.
You know, what am I working for? I'm collecting all, you know, I'm doing well. The business is doing well, but I'm not living. You know, I'm not living.
Right.
So I scheduled time off. Like that became part of my routine, scheduling time off. And that's how the live be do, that's how that came about. Which is actually a mission. It's more of a mission statement than a brand or anything like that.
Right.
It was personal for me. And then what happened was I started making shirts, and it got catchy, and people would ask for shirts.
Okay.
So I would, like, you know, send people shirts, and next thing you know, people were wearing shirts in Thailand, people were wearing shirts in Maldives.
Light bulb.
And, yeah, you know.
Right. Yeah, that's what's up. Like, yeah, because I like I said, I never knew about you before our trip. So I kind of backtracked and started looking at, you know, Facebook and some other things, and saw, you know, Lil B Do, and I was like, well, damn, that's pretty dope.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So I mean, and it's simple, but it's so practical and relevant. You know, live, be, and do. You know, so that was, you know, things happen for a reason. You know.
Yeah. So, you know, definitely appreciate people. It resonated with people,
right?
And I appreciate people taking this message literally around the world,
right?
And people brought attention to me, which I just want to inspire people. Live Be Do, it morphed into something. Now what I do is I encourage people. Basically, what I do is I encourage people to put life on the front burner. That's it. Right. I'm just a guy with ideas. Put life on the front burner. That's the whole message. Right. And now we host trips because, of course, you know how it is. You're here, you're there, and people see you, and they're like, "Yo, I want to come, or I want to do this, or I would like to do that." So that's pretty much how I got into hosting trips. And I want to shout out Black Travel. Can I shout out Black Travel, William?
You can shout out whoever you like, as long as you don't get me arrested or the feds watching. So do what you do.
I want to shout out Black Travelgram because they allowed me to guest host on 2 of their trips last year, and they were like, I think they were the first to take my shirts. They took my shirts to Iceland.
Okay.
They were the first. I mean, and they have a massive platform. Right. A massive travel platform. And he hit me up like out of the blue, you know, and was like, "Hey man, I need some shirts. I like the message." And that's pretty much how that went. And then they invited me to guest host in Cuba twice last year. So I definitely have to shout them out. And I want to shout you, Courtney, and Craig out, because something I didn't talk to y'all about. I never mentioned this to y'all. But when we were in Arizona, there's something that I picked up from y'all.
What's that?
The pay it forward. That changed me. That changed me. That was like, that was beautiful because it was so intentional. It was so natural. It wasn't for show. It was a part of the experience. It was like, you know, if something happens, we have to find somebody to bless. Right. And that right there, that did something to me. That changed me. That's
what's up, man. Look. That's a heart touching moment right there. Because, you know, like I said, Craig, or the travel junkie, Courtney is Carolina girl on IG. But you know, we've been together a few times, but again, it was our first time with you. But you know, it took maybe couple hours or so, but after that, I mean, you were part of the group, and you said you didn't really travel with people like that. You know, you kind of do your own thing. You kind of like me. I'm a solo traveler. You know, I get out by myself a lot. But you know, you were saying, you know, you don't really interact with people that much, but you know, it was organic, and it felt great to, you know, be in that group. You know, and we were stuck in that, you know, that car for, you know, 1,700 miles. I mean, that's a lot of time to be stuck in a car. You know what I mean? So it was, you know, it was good times, and it's good to, that's why I do this show. I try to inspire, you know, and try to rub off on people to want to travel and do more, but it was good. It's good to hear that, you know, just how we live life rubbed off on you too. So that's what's up. That's some good stuff.
Right. Yeah, that was definitely. I was thoroughly impressed and made me reevaluate. You know, not that I'm a horrible person,
right?
but it added purpose, like cliche how they say that it added purpose to our party, and it definitely made me consider,
right.
You know, looking at how how just added something to how I can go forward, how I can do things a little differently, and be more intentional about being a blessing.
Yep.
And just paying it forward. That was the whole message. Pay it forward.
Yeah.
So
the travel junkie, he's good about that. He's an interesting guy, but he's really good about doing things like that, man. He's a real good guy as well. Shout out to J Bay and Del Dorado as well. Del Dorado was laughing at the travel junkie talking about workers for suckers, but you know, everybody's not able. Some of us have to work. So what would Live Be do? So, you know, it started with you know, just wearing a t-shirt, then you have people reaching out to you wanting to wear your t-shirts. So have you done anything more with that? Do you do anything for like people traveling on excursions, or do you set up travel arrangements, or like what do you do with the Live Be Do movement? I don't want to call it a brand.
Right. The Live Be Do, that's good. The Live Be Do movement, collective, family. Yeah. We do a lot of different things. I like I said, I encourage people to put life on the front burner. My thing is travel. Travel for me is not a luxury. Travel is a necessity. But for some people, travel might not be their thing. There might be some other events, or some, a wine tour here, or bowling, or something like that. So I try to encourage meetups and different events to get people to come out, to get people to, do those things you say you want to do, all those things you say you want to do, those things you say you don't have enough time for, or you kind of, if you're like me, I'm an introvert. I'm a social introvert, but still an introvert. Okay. There are times where I'll be like, yeah, I'm going bowling, or I'm going somewhere, and when the time comes, I'll be like, I don't want to do that.
Right. Yep.
But, I try to encourage people to find your people. If your friends don't travel, if your friends are not active, find new ones. That's that is my quote. If your friends don't travel, find new ones. Find your people, and that comes from a real place.
Right.
That comes from being different and having a whole collective of friends who were never into what I'm into. So it was hard to get people to do the things that I wanted to do. So I found my people. One of the things I would do is I would join a Facebook group, and for example, Panama City, Florida is one of my favorite fishing spots for red snapper season.
Okay.
I would find out who's going to be in Panama City for red snapper season, and I would just meet up with people there, and just do stuff like that.
So somebody in the comments, Reno, she just asked about how, where do you do, or where do you find the meetups? Let me see exactly what she said. But yeah, it sounded like you kind of answered the question just then, though. So you go into Facebook groups and those type of things to learn about the meetups?
Wait a minute. Who asked?
Reno. She was, and I can't find a comment now. Her name is Kelsey Renu. She said, how can we learn about these meetups? So you kind of answered the question a little bit, but is there any other avenues other than just going into a group? Because there's a million groups out there. And, I know you got the, okay. I don't want to shout them out because, I don't know them like that. So I don't want to, give them free advertisement on the real, but there's a million groups. So like what was, you said you went on some of the groups and, you just, learned about and saw some of the things that were out there for you. So what would you recommend for a novice person that doesn't really know? How can they join or get involved with these meetups?
For a novice person, find your interest and look it up. on Facebook. There's a group for what you do. For example, if I'm traveling to a particular country that I've never been to, or a specific city in the country, I'll join an expat group, which is a group of Americans who live in that country or in that city. And I'll mingle with them. One, because we speak the same language.
Correct.
And, you know, we kind of, you know, we're from the same place, and they can give me insight into who they trust for tours and who they trust for, you know, certain experiences in that particular place.
Okay.
If you're into sewing, join a sewing group. If you're into living, join Live Be Do on Facebook. So yeah, we just started a Facebook group, Live Be Do.
Yep.
It's a collective of people from various different backgrounds. It's not just about travel. And when you join Live Be Do, you'll find like there are people from all over the world. There are tour guides, there are personal trainers, there are cooks, chefs, all kinds of people with all kinds of interests. So,
yep.
Yes, Live Be Do on Facebook. Follow Live Be Do on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's a group on Facebook, and of course my page on Instagram. Definitely follow. Definitely check us out. If there's anything you're interested, we have several group trips for 2021. We host group trips. So definitely hit us up if you're interested in any of our trips. And right now, Black Friday through Monday, we have $50 deposits on all our trips. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that here on your platform, but
you already said it. It's done.
Yeah. So
yeah. So there you have it. And shout out J-Bay. J-Bay, put your information up on the comments as well. So
J-Bay, I see you. Thank you so much. J-Bay is like my sister. Yo, J-Bay. So listen. I met J-Bay in Belize last year.
Okay.
We found there's a group of us, another Facebook group. There was a flight deal to Belize. That's how I met J-Bay. We were Facebook friends for a minute, but we all got the flight deal to Belize, and we all met up in person. J-Bay, Raquel, and some more people. I can't. Principal Traveler, Cecily, my cousin Tiffany. She also met us there.
Okay.
And Gina met us there. Yo, we had a good time. We had a great time. And it's just another example of finding your people.
Right.
Finding your people. Finding people who with similar interests.
Correct.
And, you know, you just meet up. And you have a good time. And then you go home and, you know, if you're lucky, you've made lifelong friends.
And finding your people doesn't mean you find black people. Finding your people means you find people with similar interests, no matter what creed, color, race they are. So yeah, that's a great point.
Exactly.
So
find your people. Yeah.
I was going to ask you what's your next trip before the end of the year outside the Miami trip, but I think you may be good until 2021. I think you're not going anywhere until 2021 after Miami.
Yo, excuse me. I'm going to. I said I was never going to hit this place, but somebody.
What? What is this place? Please tell me.
Tulum. Somebody set a snare for me to come to Tulum. They know I like boats, so there's a boat party next week that I am going to. Yeah, Black Travelgram. They're having a boat party, and I am going down for that. I had no intentions of traveling anymore this year, but I'm definitely going to that.
Okay.
And then the road trip in Miami, and then I'm done for the rest of the year. I'm just going to eat cupcakes and brownies. I'm going to get fat, and then start a New Year's resolution.
What?
Get back into the gym. And because when you're taking these trips, you gotta watch your diet. You gotta diet, you know.
But why you gotta wreck your body so you can go fix it? Just maintain it. What are you talking about? Hold on, never mind. Don't worry about it. Don't answer that. Don't answer that. I want to get off on a whole other tangent. So, I know you talked to me about something that you are going to do first quarter 2021. What can you tell me about what's going on 2021 first quarter?
2021 first quarter. We are going to Cali, Colombia. Cali, Colombia is one of my favorite places in the world. I'm looking at somebody's. Travel junkie is a distraction. Anyway, back to this. All right, so with Live Be Do, Cali, Colombia is one of my favorite places. You know, a lot of people like Colombia for different reasons, various reasons. And people flock to the tourist cities, Cartagena, Bogota, Medellin, and those are great cities. Those are great places. Cali has a very special place in my heart because the people. It's a black city. They have the largest population of black people in Colombia. Okay. And the special thing about it is it's not a tourist city. So when you go, you're able to your relationships are more organic. It's not, you know, I don't have relationships with tour guides and you know, just the typical, you know, like Cartagena and Bogota. I know people who do different things. Right. My relationships are more organic. And we saw an opportunity to how can I say it? To promote black tourism in Cali, Colombia. Okay. So I met up with Ana Copetti. She works for the Secretary of Culture in Cali, Colombia, in the city of Cali. Okay. She's we're going to be working with her to train young black kids, young black people, not kids, young black people on how to give tours, how to give black cultural tours in Cali, Colombia. So that's where we're going to start. Yeah. So now, her vision, that was, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, someone put, and they beat me to it. I was going to say, you're actually going to legitimately pay it forward. You know, that's some good stuff. You're going to show some people how to earn a living for themselves. So that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing.
Definitely, definitely. And you know what? The crazy thing about it is, with my with the people that I know, that my network in Cali, there's no black tourism, but wherever you go, there's so much culture. And I was like, yo, we could make a. So for example, we went to a place where they make cocada, which is coconut candy.
Oh, I was gonna say, remember I said earlier, the fans watching, man. Don't. I was using like cocaine. I was like, is that cocaine? I was like, what is that? Colombia. I was a little nervous with that one.
Yo, you just like me. When the kid was saying coca, I was like, nah. Nah. So, but it's cocada, which is coconut candy. It's candy made from coconut and sugar. So and I'm gonna share that video. I'm gonna put that video together and share it. Okay. We watched the guy make it, and I was like, we could actually bring people here to watch how it's prepared. Another thing I did was I took a music workshop, a marimba workshop.
Okay.
So and that's part. What a lot of people don't know is the Pacific coast of Colombia is black, and not only is it black, it is African. So when you go there, it's not like the typical Latin American style. It's more of you feel the African. It feels African. It feels really rustic and African. It feels black. It feels Caribbean almost.
The culture, the food, the dance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Music,
gotcha.
Yes.
The music, artwork, all of that.
Art.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So anyway, so I was visiting different places with my friend Juan Carlos, which, by the way, Juan Carlos Urrutia, he's a black man in Cali, Colombia. He teaches Spanish. So if any of you want to learn Spanish from a black man, definitely hit him up. That's a spin. That's something I've never seen before, you know. And we can get into that on another show.
Okay.
Yeah, we took all. He showed me some things. I went and got a haircut. I posted that video. I got a haircut for $2.77. It's 10,000 COP, 10,000 Colombian pesos. $2.
Your haircut should have been free. All they have to do is shoot a razor over it.
Listen. My barber in the U.S. charges. I can't get this for less than $20.
Wow.
And the dude, you know what I'm saying? So.
Wow.
So we were just, you know, we were just sitting around thinking like, yo, we could actually bring people here to experience this. And it's not an expensive trip. It's not expensive at all. Experience this. It's more like a cultural immersion trip.
Yeah.
Just to get a feel for it, because it's not something that you're told. We don't know anything about this in the U.S. We didn't learn about this in
Well, I you know, when you told me about what you were going down there to do, so I just looked up some information. So, you know, and you sent me some information too, talking about how, well, in my readings, everyone doesn't always identify with the word black. So some of it is, you know, Afro-Latino, some is, you know, Black America or Black Latino. Some of them don't even say, nope, I am, you know, wherever I'm from, I don't, you know, relate to Africa at all.
They don't identify as a color, they identify as the region.
Correct. And then some, you know, because of whichever country, you know, conquered them at the time. So I know some people, they identify with Spain instead of identifying with something else. I learned a lot just, you know, right before this call, and something that really resonated with me. So I was looking at this video, Henry Louis Gates Jr. He had this series on PBS. So he said 12 and a half, because, you know, everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of people think most of the slaves went to America. He said 12.5 million or 12.5 million slaves from Africa. Out of that 12.5 million, only 450,000 went to America. The rest went to North America, yes, or our you know, the United States of America. Everyone else is below Miami. So Caribbean, Central America, South America, and then Brazil has the most. I was like, are you serious? I was like, I never knew. You know what I mean? You don't. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was disagreeing with you. I didn't know either. I didn't know until recently. I didn't know until after I was already in my 40s when I found that out.
Right. Well, look, I was 43 right now. So, you know, I was like, wow, you know, and then they, you know, like that's crazy. And they had it listed of, you know, the people that identify or the people that are considered black. And, you know, Brazil is like, you know, 12 million or something like that. Yeah, it was crazy. 14 and a half million. Yeah, 14 and a half million.
Population of black people outside.
And then, you know, I've been to Rio. I went there 2 years ago for Carnival, and so you start to see all the different colors. I mean, there is, you know, pale as you know, an Anglo-Saxon in Europe, but they're as dark as, you know, some of the darkest people in Africa. I mean, it's a full color spectrum, but they all speak the same language. A lot of them all have the same religion and things. And the body types, you know about the body types, so you can definitely see the African roots body types. The ones that don't go to the doctor, of course.
Yeah, they got something in Cali called the Cali curve.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can only imagine.
Love crossing borders. I got that from Dre. Love crossing borders. I heard him say he calls it the Cali curve.
The Cali curve. So
yeah.
I said, because you're going out there, you'll be there in February, right?
February, I'll be there March. From February to I'll be there for a month, from mid-February to mid-March. And like I said, from the Secretary of Culture, it's funny because when I came to her, my approach was, hey, look, I need you to help me. I want to bring groups to Cali, but there's no black tourism here. So I would like for you to help us help find, you know, some tour guides.
Right.
She lit up. She was like, "You're right. You're absolutely right. There is none." And her vision, she shared her vision with me, and she was like, "My vision is to educate young Black people on Black history and Black culture, to get them to a point where they can lead tours, and not only in Cali, but every town between Cali and the coast, because there's so much Black culture and history in all of these little towns on the Pacific coast of Colombia."
Right.
So that, you know, that sparked something. And also want to shout out Alex Rocha from Experience the Real Cartagena. He's in Cartagena, which is on the other side. That's the Caribbean coast.
Okay.
And he volunteered. He said he would come to Cali and teach a workshop, because he's all certified and he teaches Black culture in Cartagena. Right. And he said he would come and do a workshop in Cali. So it's kind of snowballing now, and it's growing. So, you know.
And just to think, Live Be Do was the catalyst behind a lot of this. So, you know, you hooking up with the secretary, and you know, you may mess around and allow a city to become another huge tourist attraction, which brings in a whole bunch of revenue to the city. Of course, they're gonna, you know, build the city up, and all because of Live Be Do.
Well, not because of me, because like I said, Anna had her vision already.
Right,
but,
partially.
You know, we definitely, we were kindred spirits on that. Yeah, we definitely, you know, we definitely support those efforts.
Okay.
You know, and one of my biggest goals in this is to bring tourist money into the Black community. That was one of my biggest goals, because there's so many awesome. If you want to see art, there are so many awesome artists in Cali, Colombia. There are awesome musicians, people who make crafts. The food, oh my God, the food is delicious. The food is delicious. So there's so much there. And I don't want to spoil it. You know, I don't want it to become another just hot tourist attraction. But I'm like, if there's there's so much culture here, and people are curious. Like when I post my videos and my pictures, people are naturally curious. So why not? Why not draw them to Cali and have them, you know, bring U.S. tourist dollars, or from anywhere in the world, tourist dollars into the Black communities in Cali. That's the goal. That's what I see.
No, that's an excellent goal to have, and you know, whatever Adios Beaches and the Layover Show platform can do, you know, to help that vision, let me know, because I'm already planning on meeting you there for a couple days, a week or so, once you get settled in Cali. You know, not just for the Cali curve, but I actually want to experience the culture too, because I've actually I've never been to Colombia, so that'll be another box I can check, because I think that'll be a place that I would be frequently going versus a one and done spot. So definitely.
If you're into culture and you, one of the things that drew me to Latin America was the fact that they preserve. We get into these debates or these discussions, not debates, discussions. And every now and then the question comes up: who were we before slavery? Who did we worship? What was our culture?
Right.
Well, a lot of those questions can be answered in Latin America, because the Black people have preserved so much of their African culture. It's so well preserved, and it was just like, wow, it's here. And I tell people, and I'm not trying to sway anybody. I'm not trying to, you know, you like what you like. You prefer, your preference is your preference. But I've had conversations where I told people, I feel more close to the Blacks in Latin America than in Africa, only because our experiences are the same. We identify as a color. A lot of us. Yeah. only because of our colonizers. Where in Africa, you're African.
Correct.
You're not black.
Yes, that is correct.
Here, you're black. So that's the thing that that's one of the things that that draws me to South America, to Latin America, period. Just watching and the drums and some of the traditions, the food. And even some places in Colombia, they preserve African language. So it's, you know, I'm into this. I'm into this. I love this.
The more you speak about it, the more and J-Bay said it earlier in the chat, it's sad that in order to get a true education, you have to travel, because what you get taught in school is basically whoever's at the top of the political realm at that time, that's what they want to teach you. You know, so they'll teach you, you know, about this person, but they won't teach you about this person. Or they'll teach you about this person, but we're only going to talk about this. We're not going to talk about this other part of it. We want to make this person look like the savior and nice and all rosy. But when you actually go and talk about it, I mean, we just had Columbus Day ripped from us. You know, once the truth started coming out and people started to understand what's going on, it's like, wow, okay, we can't really. And now we got, you know, schools taking names off of buildings and things, because, you know, you start the history is starting to bubble up, and people are like, hey, that's not right.
Yo, we live in this age of information.
Yeah, exactly.
We have to change. So when you know better, you do better. We have to change. Right.
Exactly. Well, you should change. Everybody doesn't change, because, you know, some people are like, nah, I like it the way it is. I'm not changing. But you know, it like I said,
it is inevitable.
It is. Look, as we see what 46 coming. 46 is coming in about a month and a couple of weeks. Change it will happen, but we won't want to go there either. So, but to go back on the travel piece of it, I mean, travel. You know, people say, well, a lot of people say, well, you know, I don't see value in wasting money on travel and these type of things, but it's not just. Now you get an amazing experience first. So, you know, you have this experience of, like, I can sit here now and I'll see stuff on TV or commercials and recognize it just like that. And they're like, oh yeah, that's, you know, Bali. And people are like, how do you know that? Because I've been there. I know the landscape. I know the topography, you know, I can hear it in the language. So you get that feeling. So you have those nostalgia moments and things, but it's also an educational thing, because like I said, you get the real from the locals. You know, I've been to India quite a few times, and, you know, when I'm, you know, doing my touristy stuff, you know, you get, hey, this is the Taj, hey, you know, this is where Gandhi was buried and those type of things. But then when, you know, you start breaking bread and, you know, because it takes you 3 hours to get to the Taj, you know, you have conversations as you talk and you have questions, and they give you that real history, whether it's religious or whether it's culture, or whether it's, you know, food, you know, they give you that real history, and then you start saying, well, dang, this is not what the media says, because the media is gonna do what sells papers. Like, you know, so you get a lot from travel. So it's more than just, you know, I'm gonna book a ticket, I'm gonna go and, you know, get your mental health, as you said earlier. It is definitely that mental health, but it's also value in the education, as well as, you know, just seeing the real, how people live. It's like, I guess the equivalent would be to, which you may not want to do, but if you see the hood on TV, and then you actually go to the hood, you see two different pictures. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or the country or anywhere else you want to talk about. But, you know, you're able to dispel some of those rumors and those stereotypes, definitely.
Yeah, you have to experience. I always tell people, you have to experience it for yourself.
Absolutely.
You can't just go by what you heard or what you saw or somebody else's opinion.
Yep.
You really have to experience this for yourself.
Absolutely.
It's funny. A lot of people ask me especially when I've gone to Cuba like several times, and when I get back, is it safe? Is it safe? I'm like, yes, Cuba is one of the safest places I've ever been to. Nobody wants to go to jail in Cuba. Nobody wants to go to jail in Cuba.
Nobody wants to go to jail, period. So why would I want to go to jail somewhere else? So and that, you know, the same thing is like, so it's like, oh, you know, COVID. So I was like, well, I got the vid sitting right here in Atlanta. So it's just as dangerous going to the grocery store or whatever. And the vid for you that haven't seen the Kevin Hart special, that is COVID. So just FYI. But you can get that, literally anywhere unless you're just gonna stay in your house. So as long as the place is open to visit, just protect yourself the best way you can and live your life. Live, be, do.
Live, be, do. That's it.
There you go.
Live it, be it, do it. That's it.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, man. So look, I don't like to keep these too long because people, if it's too long, people will tune out. So, is there anything else that you want to get off your chest before we wrap it up? And what I'll do is post this up on Facebook so those who want to see but didn't get to see, or that they got on late, they can catch back up. Anything else you want to get off your chest?
Nah, that's about it. I got a feeling I don't want to get a jump the gun here. I got a feeling
don't jump the gun, because like I said, we're gonna do another one of these. We're gonna do another one of these once you get established in Cali and things. I don't want to get you in trouble with your connections or your bosses and those type of things, because I don't want you to say, see, Adios Beaches went on his show and now I can't even go to Cali now. They don't even want to do it now. So just hold off. And we'll talk about it later.
Well, I'll just end it with this.
Okay, go ahead.
Adios, beaches. Nah. Listen.
I'm going to have to steal that.
No, I shout out to everybody who supported Live Be Do from the beginning. LaRon White, LDW Travels. Shout out to my people in Cali. All of you. I can't name all of you. Salvador, Juan, D in Cali. If you guys are interested in visiting Cali, D in Cali, she's a guide. Look her up. D in Cali. Hola Cali City is another guide. They speak English and they're bilingual. Hola Cali City is Americans. It's an American company in Cali. D in Cali is native Colombian who was raised in the U.S. So she speaks English and Spanish. Who else? There's Básico Pero Nítido. All these other people I'm going to name are activists. There's Salvador. All those people, everybody, all my Caleños. Yo, peace to all of y'all. Like, shout out to everybody. Travel Junkies, Adios Beaches, everybody. If I didn't get you this time, I'll get you next time.
All right, well, Lil B do.
For sharing the platform with me,
yes, thank you for carving out a little bit of time of your day. I know, like I said, you've been up since 3 in the morning. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. And with that being said, adios, beaches.
Adios, beaches. How do you log off this joint?